So, ich glaube, wir dürfen jetzt hier starten. Ich begrüße euch herzlich. Grüezi und herzlich willkommen zu der heutigen Zoom-Präsentation. Ich bin der Robi Frommenwiller, Inhaber von We Dive Travel und freue mich, mit euch die heutige Präsentation zu erleben. Heute in der Online-Zoom-Präsentation haben wir Sardinien ausgewählt. Stefanie, die ihr hier sehen könnt, ist hier direkt lebt in Sardinien und wird euch aus ihrer spannenden Mittelmeerinsel berichten. Destination, die bei WeDive noch relativ neu und unbekannt ist. Darum umso mehr gut und wichtig, dass uns Stefanie heute ihr Ziel vorstellen. Stefanie ist Inhaberin von Nautilus, der Tauchbasis auf Sardinien. Über die Nautilus Tauchbasis können wir nicht nur das Tauchen, sondern auch die Unterkünfte buchen. Das heisst, wir können das gesamte Paket buchen. Schön, sind wir heute so zahlreich mit dabei. Wir werden unsere Präsentation wirklich rechtzeitig beendet haben, damit der Match Italien-Schweiz für alle noch drin sein kann, dass ihr den schauen könnt. Also kein Stress. Die Stefanie sitzt in Sardinien, sie berichtet direkt von dort. Und sie hat das Privileg, dass sie tagtäglich dort im Moment tauchen und das geniessen. Sie wird über die verschiedenen Landschaften, Schönheiten und natürlich auch die spannenden Tauchgründe berichten. Natürlich wird sie auch Vorschriften rund um Covid in Sardinien erzählen. Stefanie wird die Präsentation auf Englisch halten. Sie wird aber einen französischen Akzent haben, weil sie ist effektiv Schweizerin, die aus dem Jura kommt und ihre Muttersprache ist Französisch. Und darum denken wir, ist es geschickter, wenn sie das auf Englisch statt auf Französisch macht. PowerPoint tut sie direkt aus Sardinien kommentieren, auch die Videos spielt sie direkt aus Sardinien ab. Wir hoffen, dass mit der Technik und der Übermittlung alles reibungslos funktioniert. Am Ende der Präsentation wird Stefanie noch Fragen beantworten. Wenn euch während der Präsentation Fragen in den Sinn kommen, dann könnt ihr die unten im Zoom-Chat, in der Chat-Funktion, einfach dort hineinschreiben, bitte an alle richten. Und dort könnt ihr eure Fragen stellen. Am Schluss wird unsere Evi dann eure Fragen vorlesen und Stefanie wird die alle beantworten. Während der Präsentation, das haben wir auch schon wunderbar gemacht, bitten wir euch, auf Stumm geschaltet sind und auch eure Kamerafunktion deaktiviert ist, damit es keine Unterbrüche von der Präsentation gibt. Ja, jetzt würde ich sagen, ich tue noch kurz auf Englisch wechseln. Stephanie, I wish you all the best for your presentation, and to all our interested clients, I wish you a very nice presentation, and I give over you the word to Sardinia.
Okay, so I'm presenting tonight beautiful Sardinia. And first, to start, I just want to explain you that we are located in a village of Palau, which is spelled exactly the same as the one in Micronesia, but it's on the island of Sardinia, on the very top north of the island, just opposite Corsica. For an introduction to it, I will pass this little video.
That feeling we had, that feeling feeling that's been gone for way too long. Yeah. Just sit back, close your eyes, and remember, we gotta return to that feeling. We gotta return to that feeling. We gotta return to that feeling. We gotta return.
So I hope the video did work and also the sound, because we have done a few tests. I hope it went through. So we are in Sardinia, a big island part of Italy, which is quite famous for its very wild nature, very low, slowly built, very untouched landscape, and very easy access from Europe, from mainland, from Switzerland. You can easily access to Sardinia by plane. The nearest airport is Olbia, which is located in the north of the island, where you can take a 1.5 hour plane from Zurich or Basel or Geneva. If you do not wish to fly, you can also just drive in, taking the car down to Genova or Livorno, to then take the ferry overnight or overday to Olbia. And then from Olbia, as you can see there where there is this little plane, you will drive only 45 minutes, a little bit further up to Palau, which will bring you to a diving center. This is Palau. Basically, this is what you see when you are in Palau. This is a village here, just by the sea coast. And right opposite, you have a very big island, which is called the island of La Maddalena. Another island, a smaller one, which is Santa Stefano. Then another one, which is Razzoli. Then another one, which is Bargi. And then there is another one at the back. So there's many islands just opposite us. And the very far one with the mountains there is the island of Corsica in France, which is also very near to us. So as you can see, we are like in a protected bay, and this is called the Archipelago and Marine Park of La Maddalena. So we are in a real heart of this marine park, which gives us a very access to the dive sites. So even if it's windy, we have all these islands to protect us, all this bay. If you do not have a car, you don't have to worry either, because you can walk anywhere in Palau. You can walk to the beach. There is a beach on the east, there is a beach right in the center, there is a beach on the west. And the dive center is located right in the center of the village, just by the seaside, as well as a dive boat just opposite the dive center. So everything is very easy of access. You can walk everywhere. There is little shops and restaurants that you can access to. And this actual picture has been taken from a place which is a viewpoint, a nice little half-an-hour walk that you can get to from Palau and get this lovely postcard view. So the dive center is actually being established in 1994 by a couple from Italy. And in 2005, my husband, Vinny, whose parents are Italian, but is born in England, we have decided to get our own dive center and have left our second home, which is Southeast Asia, mainly Indonesia, where we used to live. And we have visited different places in Europe to look for a dive center to take over. And when we came to Palau and saw this beautiful area, we fell in love straight away and have decided to take over the dive center in 2005 from the owner, from this Italian owner. So in 2005, we took over the dive shop, and in the until now, the past 17 years, we've been trying to implement what we have learned in our past experience as dive instructor in Southeast Asia. And we have been able to get a 5-star, to become a 5-star resort from PADI. And what we do, we have a main boat, which is actually, we custom build the boat and for diver, very comfortable with the sun deck, with shade, with also, you cannot see there on the picture, but there is also the platform to jump in, there is a ladder. And we have also a nice Zodiac with a wind front cover. We have a ladder also at the back. So with those two embarkations, we go out diving every day from the 1st of April until the 1st of November, diving in the marine park of La Maddalena. We do 2 dives in the morning and 1 dive in the afternoon. We leave actually very early in the morning at 7:30 to be the only one on the dive site, to be also there. So all the waking up of the fish life happen. We do 2 dives with a surface interval of about an hour between the dives, changing dive sites in between, and come back to Palau around 12:30, 1 o'clock, which leaves the time for people to either do other activities in the afternoon, or to spend time with the family, or to do our 3rd dive in the afternoon, which is at 2 o'clock, and we go nearby Palau for 1 dive to come back around 4 o'clock. Most of the dive sites are very near, between 5 to 50 minutes. And as a 5-star resort, we also offer a 5-star service on board. So when you turn up early at 7:30, all the equipment is already set up for you on a tank. You don't have to carry anything. You don't have to worry about setting up your BCD or regulator on a tank. We will do it for you. We will change the tank cover for you. And we will also disinfect all the equipment for you after the diving day. We also minimize the size of the group with maximum 4 divers for each dive guide. And for courses, we do maximum 2 students per instructor. We also cater for photographers. So people who have a camera and are keen on taking photo or video, we can arrange private guides too. For longer dives, we have a membrane system for nitrox. So we fill up usually a 32% nitrox on demand. And in the diving center, here there is 2 pictures of the dive center. It's very spacious, very airy, very high ceiling. We have all the equipment. If you don't have your equipment, we have all the sizes from children to extra large sizes, as well as reception, Wi-Fi, changing room, etc. And a little shop also for souvenirs and basic equipment like mask, computer, and torch. So this is a map of our diving area. So as you can see, Palau is right here, and opposite you have these islands. The main islands are 7 of them, which cover the marine park of La Maddalena. And this one here is the island of Lavezzi, which is part of Corsica. So we actually diving 2 marine parks and 2 different countries, Italy and France, and up to 40 dive sites, which make actually this area a very famous place because of the variety of the dive site. And because the dive site can be reached by only 5 minutes up to 50 minutes for Corsica, which is the furthest one. Corsica, which is here, this island of Lavezzi, is a marine reserve, which is one of the oldest marine parks in the Mediterranean Sea, which is also famous for a colony of large friendly groupers. So when we have nice and calm sea, we can go all the way to Lavezzi, crossing the Bonifacio Strait, which is here between Sardinia and Corsica, and we get there about in 50 minutes. And if you look further east, we have this big island here of Caprera, where there is lots of dive sites, which are very useful for us, because when we have the Mistral, which blow from the northwest wind here, which can get also quite strong, we can go behind this island of Caprera and get good shuttled and have about 10 nice dive sites to choose from. So even in some places of Sardinia where sometimes they cannot dive in the east or in the west, people can come to Palau and enjoy the dives because we still can dive as we have all these islands to protect from the wind. Perfect location. Underwater, that's what we're here for. So underwater, the main topography is not flat at all. So it is not boring at all. You have a lot of, it's like an underwater Alps. There is a lot of mountains and rock boulders, canyons, overhangs, to go through, to swim through, to look with the torch. Even when you arrive, when you land in Sardinia, when you come with a car, you can see already all these granite rocks everywhere on land. It's the same on the water. So very funny shape. And with the blue color of the Mediterranean water, it gives a superb scenery on the water. And because it is a marine park, we have a lot of fish. Actually now it's June, we get nearly every day they're going out, they see barracudas. In some of the dive sites which are very nearby Palau, there is the octopus. And when you go a little bit deeper, from about 24-25 meters, you start to get the nice Gorgonia sea fans. Visibility is about 10 meters in the beginning of the season, with a water temperature of 16 Celsius. And now in June, we already have up to 20 meter visibility with a temperature today of 21. And the one who will like warmer waters, and they have to come in July, August, where it goes up to 24 Celsius. And September, October, visibility can go up to 30 to 35 meters. We have a few wrecks. We have the Angelica wreck, which is a nice cargo ship, which has been sunk in a storm, accessible to everybody. With a depth of 18 meters. There's a little cabin that we can also go through. We have the propeller of a Second World War plane, which is very, very photogenic because it just lies down in a seabed there on a white sand. And it's got all this sponge incrusted onto the propeller and the engine, which give a beautiful, beautiful, colorful photo. And for the big fish lover, like I was saying, we get those nice, beautiful, friendly, dusky grouper that you can see on the right picture. They're very friendly. They come very close to you. They love interfering with the diver. And even if you're not a photographer, it's lovely just to watch them, to check on the mouth. You can see all the range of teeth they've got, the eyes looking at you. And they range a good size, nearly as big as me. Yeah, and sometimes they can get like 5, 6 of them around you. For people who like smaller stuff, I think German is a Schnecke, the nudibranch. We actually have a lot of nudibranch in our area. And if you are not scared of a little bit colder water, April and May is the best time to see the largest variety of nudibranch. They tend to like this coldest part of the year to pop out of diverse species of them. We have also the endemic ones that you will only see in the Mediterranean, which is the Tilodia, which is this one here with this little umbrella shell, and the Ervia here. So very, very pretty just to look at them or just to take a beautiful picture. A few more macro ones that you can find here. We actually have the bobtail squid, which is this tiny, tiny squid that we find. You can see it's very, very small because you can see the size actually of a sand drop here. Is usually lay between 5 and 2 meters of depth in very shallow water of the dive site, and also in early season. And pipefish as well as seahorses usually can be found more in end of June through July and August. We have very experienced dive guide. Most of them has been with us for many years. They are actually from Germany, Sweden, Italy, and England. Very keen, very passionate, and they always take the time to find all these pieces for you. For dive course, yes, because we are PADI Dive Center 5-star, we also teach. We actually teach a lot. We have one of the highest amount of diving certification in the whole of Italy. We are using the e-learning system now, so everybody study from home, and when they come on holiday here, they will just concentrate on the practice. And luckily here in Palau, we don't have a problem of having our swimming pool being closed because of lockdowns or so ever. Our swimming pool is a beach, beautiful beach here, which is just 2 steps away from the dive center. This is where we do all our training part of the courses, or refresher also down there. We teach from beginner level up to professional, like assistant instructor and dive master. Again, we take maximum 2 students for each instructor, and if there is more students, like a family, we add more dive professional. Beside diving, this is a good thing about coming in a place like Sardinia, which is in Italy. The food is amazing. Very important part also of your diving holiday. You've got to have good food, good wine too. Sardinia has beautiful sweet wine, white or red. Food, there is restaurants everywhere in Palau. We have a list already ready for you of our favorites, what they do, where they are located, the speciality of the place, where you can also walk to them, no need to take your car. From June until end of September, there is also a night market where all the local people sell the art craft. And every Friday morning, there is a local market where you can buy your cheese, your salami, and beautiful fruits and vegetables from here. Other activity after diving, like I was saying, there is a few different beaches, walking distance from Palau, where you can just chill in the afternoon, do a nice siesta. Or you can have a beautiful walk like here on this picture here in the middle, where you can walk to this rock, which is like a bear, the bear rock, which is our actual symbol of the village of Palau, the bear rock. You walk there, have a lovely view again on Palau and the marine park of La Maddalena. Or if you have a bit more energy, you can take your kite or you windsurf and go to the famous place of Porto Polo, which is just 5 kilometers from Palau, and actually very famous for Swiss. It's actually full of Swiss people there, especially at the beginning of the season. Beautiful part of our commune of Palau, where you can windsurf and kite surf. There is a long stretch of beach, beautiful sand dunes, a few beach bars, and as it's always a bit of wind here, you can just go and windsurf in the afternoon. The wind always starts to pick up about 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. Also, it's very good to come with a bike or a motorbike in the early season. So when it's not too hot, or later, like October, the roads around Sardinia are amazing to bike or to have a nice bike or an electric bike, because it does go up and down. It's not flat at all, like many people will think. There is a lot of hilly place in Sardinia. And where you're gonna sleep? So the hotel that is that we recommend together with We Travel is this lovely 4-star located just by the port. So if you look at the top right picture, you can see the room. This is a suite. They're not all rooms like this. This is a suite, lovely, very large balcony, but you can see that there is a port and our boat is just here. So you just come down, have your breakfast at 6:30, and then nice and slow, cross 1 minute walk, you get to the boat. The hotel is a 4-star superior, and they have different ranges of rooms, from the classic, superior, and or the suite, or a junior suite, where like a group of friends can have 3 rooms together, sharing a very big same balcony. All the furniture, the textile in the room are typical made of Sardinia, the art craft style of Sardinia. And downstairs you have a nice little chill bar with a piano and also the terrace outside. This is a less fun part, but that is now actually part of our life and maybe with us for a few more years. This COVID-19 has pushed us to rethink our way of work and different aspects of our diving operation. And we are actually very strict on this and have developed a very intensive training for all our crew to keep the staff and the guests safe. We have been doing that since middle of June last year, when we have been able to open after the very strict lockdown. It worked very well. We didn't have any accident or incident all the year last year. So we do test our team regularly with the antigenic, and we are all in vaccination process. I'm nearly done two more weeks and I have the second jab, and our younger team here in Sardinia also are getting the jab next month. We are also wearing our mask all the time in the dive shop, on the boat. We take a very particular attention to disinfect the diving equipment, the diving facilities, the dive boat, and our hands. And also we have restricted the amount of diver on the boat and on the water, as well as the student. To enter Sardinia, to enter Italy, besides the green pass that will come up to date, I suppose, beginning of July, until then you need a negative COVID antigenic test certificate 48 hours before you arrive, or being fully vaccinated. If you need a test to go back home also after your holiday here, we can organize this for you. We can have a doctor coming directly to your accommodation and organize a test and the certificate for you, so you don't have to worry about that part. Just have to let us know before, so we get on time. So that's it, guys. I hope I made you a bit of interest from our beautiful island of Sardinia. At the moment, we actually do have many of you, many guests of Switzerland, which take probably 90% of the boat space at the moment. And yeah, I hope to see you here. And if you have any question, please ask.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. That was very interesting and extremely sympathetic. Especially I like your accent, it's fabulous. I especially like the two words that I can't say like you did. The octopus and the nudibranch. Fabulous, thank you. Made my day. So, are there any questions, Evie?
Yes, there are just a few questions, and one of the important one is as Sardinia is easy to travel with kids. Do you also offer the bubble maker program?
Yes, it is actually perfect place for children because of the shallow water we have, the shallow beach we have, and as any place in Italy, you know, the Italians, they love children, so it's a place where the children feel welcome and everybody's friendly with the children. You can leave them there, nobody's gonna be upset. They will look after them. For the bubble maker, yes, we do that, and we actually do it from the boat. So we take the children of minimum 8 years old to a nice little shallow diving site where the instructor one-to-one will take the child with a little tank, 7-liter tank, a tiny BCD, to the maximum depth of 2 meters to blow bubbles.
Perfect. Then in the same content, the question was raised whether this bubble maker program, if you offer, is guided in German.
Yes, because we have our German instructor, which is Jan. He's from Germany, he's nice, he's young, he's full of energy, and he's been working with us for a few years.
Perfect. That sounds very attractive. So another question I would like to raise is, how about snorkeling with Nautilus diving on Sardinia?
Snorkeling is not our specialty. We dedicate our boat space to the diver and the student diver. Because we restricted the amount of space on our boat, it doesn't mean because we don't have enough tank, but it means that we want to give space to the people on the boat. So the priority is to the one who blows the bubbles. For snorkeling, it's not a bad news because for snorkeling, there is other people who do that. In Palau, there is many round island trip. Because we have all these islands, there is boats, sailboats or zodiacs, which take people to those places and serve lunch, and where you can take your mask, you snorkel and go for a little tour and snorkeling there. And it can be half day, it can be a full day. And again, there we can recommend the good company to use.
Thank you. Another question was raised. Also, you already told us about the water temperatures, but there is a direct question about the water temperature in mid of September.
Middle of September, the water temperature average 22, 21 Celsius.
So, and what sea do you recommend to dive then?
It's difficult. It's difficult to say. Myself, I will use a 7 millimeter in a 28 degree of water. So, but usually people they will have a 7 millimeter or 5 millimeter with a shorty 5 millimeter on top.
Okay. As we are talking most probably in English tonight, and our audience is not used to it, or not so used to it, the briefing language and the guides on the boat, do they also speak German?
If people tell us before, I want a briefing in German, then we will make sure they have the briefing in German.
Thank you very much.
But I must say that with the hands, we can also communicate very well.
Yes, that's true. That's also actually the language we use on the water.
Yes. But we have a German, yes. I mean, we have the German instructor. If we tell us before, I want it in German, we will make sure that it's going to be there for you.
Perfect. Thank you very much to you for your perfect introduction to the COVID-19 restriction and travel possibilities. There was a question raised in our chat about whether 10-year-old children need a test to come to Italy.
You don't? I don't know. I'm sorry.
So no worries about that. I will just ask this person in the chat to raise the question to my info address and I will reply tomorrow.
I do think it's 12 years old, but
You're not sure?
I'll confirm.
Okay, I will double check this and will answer directly by email. Good. Then this is all, but usually I raise the question about Stephanie, what is your best experience while diving in Sardinia?
So I had a few best experience. My very, very memorable in Sardinia was after a few days of very strong wind. We had a normal wind, but we had this swell, you know, this swell that you have after a storm. And we went out with the boat and it was like this, and many people were feeling sick. But I had such a good feeling on this dive, so we went for it. We went in the channel behind the island of Spargi, which is called Washington Rock. And as soon as we went down, we saw about hundreds of giant trevally coming around us. And then you had all these groupers coming and hovering around you. It was amazing, amazing to see. It was unexpected to see that all at the same time on that day. And everybody forget to be seasick. It was lovely to see that after the dive, even the sea was still very swelly. Everybody was laughing and happy. It was it was really, really nice. That was at the beginning of my experience here. It was the first year we took over also. That's memorable.
Yeah, that sounds great. So how many dive guides do you hire per season?
Between 6 and 7.
So they're local or they are from all over the world?
They're from none of them are local. They're mainly from other parts, Sweden, England, Germany. I have one Italian, Hungary. So it's very, very international. In the diving center, to communicate all together, we all speak in English. We don't speak Italian.
Yes, I guess this is the most common language where we can understand each other. Also in between us, as we are Swiss, we also communicate in English.
Yes.
So far, there were no more questions. Maybe Robbie, you have something?
Yeah, thank you. I quickly take over and give some information from WeDive. I changed to Swiss German again. Noch ein paar Infos von unserer Seite selber, von WeDive her. Jetzt ist ja viel jetzt geredet worden über Covid und Beschränkungen und alles, was festgelegt worden ist. Speziell in Europa, aber auch sonst von den Destinationen, die offen sind, ist im Moment extrem viel in Gang. Wir hoffen von unserer Seite, ganz fest, dass das, was der Bundesrat bezüglich der neuen Reiseregelungen vorgeschlagen hat, Ende Juni wird nachher festlegen, dass es so wird kommen. Es gibt ganz viele Vereinfachungen. Die ganze Quarantäneliste bis auf die paar Risikoländer mit den Mutationen der Viren werden, also alle Risikoländerlisten für die Quarantäne werden wegfallen. Und auf das hoffen wir ganz fest, weil das wird natürlich ganz, ganz vieles erleichtern. Sollte nächste Woche, am 23. vom Bundesrat verkündet werden und nachher eingeführt werden ab dem 28. Juni. Ich denke, das ist zentral wichtig für all die, die wieder ein bisschen auf Reisen gehen, dass jetzt wirklich grosse Vereinfachungen in Sicht sind. Auch denke ich, werden alle die europäischen Schengen-Staaten werden auf den 1. Juli ihre ganzen Reisebestimmungen nochmal lockern. Da ist auch vieles im Moment im Tun. Sicherlich alles jetzt im Zusammenhang mit dem Fortschritt von der Impferei, dass jetzt das kommt. Gut, wir werden sicherlich umgehend all die Neuerungen auf unserer Webseite anpassen, sobald die in Kraft treten werden. Geht auf unsere Startseite, da könnt ihr die aktuellsten Infos zu den Einreise- und Rückreisevorschriften finden. Bei dort findet ihr auch immer die tollsten und besten Specials zu den geöffneten Destinationen, die aktuell buchbar sind. Läutet uns an. Wir haben Freude, wenn ihr uns anruft. Montag bis Donnerstag sind wir für euch gerne erreichbar. 10 bis 12 am Morgen, 2 bis 4 am Nachmittag. Oder schickt uns bitte ein E-Mail. Die nächste Präsentation ist wieder in 4 Wochen, am Mittwoch, am 14. Juli. Es ist wieder am Abend um 8 Uhr. Und es ist wieder Nautilus geplant, aber nicht Nautilus in Sardinien, sondern es ist Nautilus von Mexiko. Klarer genommen die Nautilus-Liveaboards, wo Socorro und Guadeloupe, das heisst also mit den grossen pazifischen Mantas in Socorro, es viele Haiarten und mit dem weißen Hai in Guadeloupe wird dort berichtet werden. Bitte prüft unsere Webseite. Wir informieren immer, wer als nächstes präsentieren tut. Aber in 4 Wochen ist bereits schon mit dem Mike Clever, das ist der Inhaber von der Nautilus Liveaboards, abgesprochen, dass er die Präsentation machen tut. Ja, Stephanie, anything to say? To say goodbye?
Enjoy the football tonight, guys. Que le meilleur gagne.
Ja, genau. Ich denke auch, der Besser soll gewinnen. Danke, dass ihr alle da gewesen sind. Bleibt gesund. Und jetzt heisst